First thing we need to learn is how to become root. There's going to be a lot of things that you can't do with your normal account, so we need to know how to access the root account. So the first thing you're going to do is type in sudo space -i, sudo space -i, enter. Now you're going to hit your normal password for your regular account. Okay, and now you're root. So you can type in who am I, no spaces, enter, and you're root. You can also tell because obviously it shows here at the top, right? As compared to before where it was Kali. Also, you see this $sign when I was Kali. That means you're a non-privileged user. Now we have the hashtag, which means you are a privileged user. Now I'm going to show you another way to become root. It's very similar, by the way. But just in case, I'll just show it to you. Type sudo space su. And just like the first time, we're going to type in our password. And there you go. You're root. So the next thing I'm going to show you is how to use and open up different tabs in your terminal. So to do that, you're going to have your terminal open, right? And then you're going to go to the top left to File, and then just click on New Tab. And now you have two different tabs. And you can open as many as you want. And this becomes useful because let's say that you are doing an assessment. So right now I have this VM called Metasploitable 2. It's downloadable. And I am doing an assessment over that machine. And let's say that I'm running an nmap scan for all of its ports. I'm retrieving the service information on it. And let's say that I'm also going to run all the scripts, all the default scripts from nmap on it. So don't worry so much about this statement. This is just useful for the example on why would you want to use different terminal windows. So this is going to be a lengthy scan. And actually, I probably need to become root. It looks like it's letting me run it. Okay. So while this runs, well, I might want to be doing some other things on different machines or running other commands. So for example, nmap, let's say for example, I'm just going to ping the same machine. Right? Or what I could also be doing, I could be running an nmap command to discover any hosts in the network. Right? So that way I don't have to wait for this command to finish until I ran the next thing. So you see, so now I already have all of these different hosts that are up. One of them obviously being the one that we're scanning currently. Right? So while my lengthy command is running, I can be doing other things, and that's the reason why you would want a different terminal. Now the next thing we're going to do is play with files and directories. So to get that started, let's find out which directory we're in currently. And to do that, we're going to type pwd and hit enter. So we're in home in Kali, okay? So this is the directory we're currently in. But now, what files are included in this directory? To find out, we can type in ls, which stands for listing directories, listing directory files. So we can just hit ls, hit enter. And here it'll show up all of the directories and the files included within home and Kali. So notice that these blue ones are directories and these white ones are regular files. Another view to list directories and files is ls, and then we're going to give it an option, ls space dash l. Okay, this is going to give us more details on every single file. So notice that the directories and the files are now stacked up on top of each other. So we have one per row. And this also shows us the privileges, the owner, the group that owns it, the date, etc., right? Also notice that the blue ones, which we know are directories, start with a D. And the regular files start with a dash. Okay? So again, if we hit ls, let me clear this up. ls, this is what we have, right? I'll show you one more tag because in CTS you're gonna want to know this, ls-a. Okay, and what the ls-a is going to do is it's going to list all files, including hidden files. So notice that all of these ones that start with a dot do not display in a normal ls. Okay, so there's a lot more files and directories that are not included in the normal ls view. If you want to know why that is, or what the ls tag A means, what you can do is go to the manual for ls. You see, so the tag A, which is an option, says does not ignore entry starting with a period. So there you go. To escape this, just hit Q. Okay, let's clear our screen. So going back to the files, we know that our working directory is home Kali, right? Because we printed the working directory with pwd. We know we can list files and directories within home Kali by typing ls. Okay, perfect. So now let's create a file. So this distro, Kali comes with Vim, which is a file editor. It's not the easiest to use, but it is native, and I just learned to use it from the beginning, and that's what I stick with. I know that other people use things like Nano or Sublime or even VI, I think it is, but I like Vim, so let's do it. So to create a file, we'll do Vim, and then let's just name a file. Let's call it test.txt. Perfect. So we're currently in that file. As you can see down here at the bottom, test.txt, we're currently in this file. So to write something, we need to tap I. Okay, notice that this changed to insert, which is just different modes within Vim. And we'll just type hello. We'll hit escape, shift, colon. So after I typed the hello, I pressed escape, then shift colon. I'm going to do WQ exclamation mark because I'm going to save this and quit. Perfect. So now let's type in ls again. And now we have test, right? So we have a new file that we just created. So another thing that we can do is, let's say that we want to tack something on to that file, right? We created test.txt, we wrote hello in it. Let's say that we want to include something else in it. We just want to append it, right? We can do echo world. Let's type in world. So it's going to echo world inside of the file and not remove what was already in there. We're going to do 2 of these brackets, space, and then we're going to tell it to write it in the test.txt file. Okay, it did it. So now let's vim. And there you go. So now you have world right in it. So it appended world into this file on a new line. Okay, fantastic. So we're just going to quit here. Oh, there we go. Okay, so there's another way to create a file as well. You could do echo, and you could do hello world, and let's put this in quotation marks, and then we're going to do one small bracket, and we're going to write it into test1.txt. Okay, perfect. So we do ls to list our files and directories. We'll notice that test1 is here. So let's open it up. Let's go with vim test1.txt. And there you go. Hello world, just as we wrote it. Escape, :q, exclamation mark to escape. Perfect. Another way to find out what's in a file without going into it is by using the command cat. So if we do a man cat, man stands for manual. It says concatenate files and print on the standard output. Perfect. Q to escape the manual. So what we can do here now, ls, right? We have test1 and test. So we can use cat, and then we'll write the file, txt, in there, hello world. We can also do cat. We'll do test1 and hello world. Perfect. So we're basically printing whatever's in the file on our standard output. And our standard output is this terminal. Fantastic. Isn't Linux awesome? Okay, so let's see what else we can do, right? Let's do an ls. We created two files, right? We echoed information into one. We appended information into the other one. We used vim very briefly just to create the file. Now let's say we don't want both test files. We want to remove one of them. Let's remove test1. So to remove test1, we're going to use the command remove, which is rm space, and then we're going to write test1, and then instead of typing .txt, what we can do is hit tab, and it'll complete it for us. So for example, let me erase this up to test, right? If I hit tab right now, it's going to show me all of the options that begin with test. So it's test1.txt or test.txt. So because the terminal doesn't know which one I want, I need to give it another character. So now I'm going to do test1. And there you go. So we're going to do remove test1.txt, ls, and it's removed. Fantastic. Okay, so now let's say that we want to copy the file. So we want our test.txt file to stay here, but we just want to copy somewhere else. What we can do is we'll use copy, which is cp. We'll give it the file. We want you to copy this file, and we got to tell it where. Well, before we do that, we need to know where, right? So let's do an ls. Okay, so let's copy test.txt into this desktop. Okay, this desktop folder. So let's do that. So we'll do cp, and we'll grab the file that we want to copy, space, and we're going to tell it to do it in desktop. I might have to give the whole breadcrumb, but we'll see. Oh, okay. So to confirm that it actually copied it into the desktop, we can do ls space and then just type in the directory. Oh, and there we go. So what I'm doing right now is instead of moving into the directory and then hitting ls, I'm just typing ls space and then the directory that I want to list the contents for. In this case, it's desktop. So list the contents for desktop and test.txt. If we do print working directory, we're still in home Kali. Okay. I'm going to clear the screen. And then if we do ls, we'll notice that test is here. So now let's remove the file that we just copied to the desktop. So to do that, we're going to use rm again. We're going to type in the whole breadcrumb, home, Kali, desktop, test.txt. Okay, so now we're going to do ls desktop. And there you go. There's no file. Remember before it would show us test.txt, now there's no file. If we want to move between directories, so let's say we want to move into desktop. Let me clear this. Let me print our current working directory, which is home Kali and ls. Okay, so let's say we want to move into desktop. We'll do command, which is cd space desktop, enter. Notice here, the squiggly sign just means home. You're in your home directory, and we're in home desktop. So now if I do ls, there's nothing in there. And if we do print working directory, we're in the home Kali desktop. Isn't that cool? Okay, fantastic. We're doing a great job here. Okay. So let's do ls again. There's nothing in here. Let's create a file. So let's do echo bunny rabbit bunny ears, right? Bunny ears, is it? Yeah. Let's just call it quotation marks. And let's just say bunnies. And then we'll echo it into bunny.txt ls. And there we go. We created this file. So now let's move this file into one folder above it, right? So let's move it into the home Kali folder, which is one folder above. So to do that, we'll use move, which is mv, and we'll grab bunny.txt, and then we just got to tell it where we want it to move it. So we'll do /home /Kali. Okay, enter. So if we do ls, right, there's nothing in here, right? Before we did ls, and then there was bunny.txt. So if we print our working directory, we're in home Kali desktop, so we need to go into the Kali folder to see the file. So let's do that. To go up one folder, we'll type in cd or command space period enter. Let's type in print working directory, and now we're in our Kali folder. Let's do ls. Okay, and here's our bunny.txt. Cool, huh? Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to play a little bit with git clone. So git clone is used to, well, clone gits. Git is a repository. You can access it via the web, and you can just open a free account and have their code, have word lists, have CTF walkthroughs, etc. You can basically have anything there, but it's really made so people can, it's a place for people to store their code and for people to be able to access that code. So it's available for everybody, and it's easy to copy down into your own computer. Let me make this bigger. So by the way, when I make my terminal bigger, all I'm doing is holding Control, and then I'm just pressing the plus sign, okay? And if you want to make it smaller, just hold Control and press the minus sign. Okay, so that looks pretty big. All right, so what we're first going to do is I'm going to delete the existing one. So let's see, ls l. Okay, so remember, we're going to list our files and directories. ls -l will give us a list with the details like ownership, permissions, etc. So seclists should be in here. So here it is, right here. But you see how there's so much in this directory, right? So is there an easier way? There is an easier way to get what you're looking for. So for example, if you do lsl, right? Now we're going to do a pipe, right? Which is that straight line. Space, we're going to do grep. And then we're going to add the keyword that we're grepping for. So we're basically saying lsl, grab all of the listing. Okay, so the computer's now holding it, but it is not displaying it yet. And then it's going to grep it, or basically pipe it via this filter. And the grep is basically the filter, and it's going to be filtered by whatever keyword we put after grep. So in this case, it'll be seclists. So notice how now it only gives me one, and it's highlighted in red because this is the keyword. So yeah, it's a pretty neat tool. If you want to know more about grep, you can do man grep, right? Manual again. And here it'll tell you all of the different variations or names: grep, egrep, fgrep, rgrep. And the description says grep searches for patterns in each file. Patterns is one or more patterns separated by a new line of characters, and grep prints each line that matches that pattern. So yeah, that's exactly what it did here. So you can explore more of the manual. I'll leave that up to you. So we do have seclists here. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove it, right? So to remove something, you usually do remove, and then you give it the name. But remove works with files, not with directories. So if we do man rm, we'll notice that to remove a directory, it's the tac d. To remove empty directories, though. So this kind of gave it away. I wanted to do this exercise with you where we do remove tac d, and then we'll do seclists, and get a warning that we cannot remove seclists because the directory is not empty. So remove, so let's run through it again. So rm by itself can remove files, okay? Rm tac d can remove empty directories. But what if you want to remove a directory with all of its components, all of the things it includes? We have to do something else. So I don't have a cheat sheet, or I'm not looking at someone else's webpage, but I do have a cheat sheet, which is my pentest toolbox. It's an Excel spreadsheet. I know, it's so dorky. Remember, I come from an accounting background, so I do Excel spreadsheets. It's an Excel spreadsheet where I put all of useful commands and things like that. Here, so you can see what I'm looking at. Okay, here. It's pretty good. Probably going to be pretty small for you, but it doesn't matter because I'm going to type it anyways. Okay, so it's going to be rm dir, okay? And then double tac ignore dash fail dash on dash non dash empty, and then the directory name. Okay, I'm gonna hit enter. Okay, so it looks like it went through. Let's do the ls grep seclists. Oh no, it's still there. So did this not work? Okay, so let's ls. Okay, interesting. Let's do it again. Okay. And it's still there. Oh, man. Okay, so what is going on here? Okay. It's still there. Oh, you know what it is? I think I need to be root. You see? It's owned by root, and right now I'm working as Kali, so root obviously has more privileges. This is owned by root, so root is the administrator of this machine. So obviously me as a regular user can't delete a file or a directory owned by root. However, it's interesting that it didn't even give me an error. It just like, yeah, like, okay, buddy, yeah, we'll do that for you. We'll take care of it. Bye, go home, and nothing ever happened. So we'll sudo su, or actually we can just sudo I. Put your password. And now we're root. So we have to go into the directory where the folder is with its components that you want to delete. So for me, it is command / usr user share. I'm gonna do the lsl, pipe the grep, seclists. It's there. Okay, so now we're going to remove it. So remove dir /, what is it again? Ignore on fail on non-empty. I feel like when they came up with this command or this option, it was really late at night, you know, and it's like, what do you want to call it? What do you want to call it, Mark? I don't know, just ignore on fail on non-empty. Okay, yeah, whatever. Let's name it that. It's like the longest thing ever. Okay, and then the name. Oh, come on. That's what I have. It says unrecognized option. Okay, so this is good, right? As you're navigating through, you're going to have these errors. So let's just figure it out together. So what we have to do next is rem dir, and then we're going to go to the manual. I'm going to make this a little smaller, guys, so I can see some more. There, ignore fail on non-empty. Oh, I see. I made a mistake. Ignore fail on non-empty, not ignore on fail. Okay, perfect. Are you ready for this? Boom. Let's do our lsl grep seclists. Oh, come on. You can't tell me it's still there. I just removed you. This is hilarious. This is really funny. Wow. Yeah, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to tell you right now. So, I will figure this out, but I will figure this out in another video or on my own time. Sorry, guys. Sorry that I totally crashed and failed. Feel free to never subscribe to this channel. It's okay. Or unsubscribe. Dislike button. Hit the dislike button. I dare you. Okay. So, I'm going to make this a little bigger. So again, right, we're going to do the git clone. So let's do that. What I want to git clone, I already have the website here. I will include it in the description so you can just click on it. Once you open your browser and you go there, you're going to have code, this green button right here. So let's see, let's make this bigger. There we go. That's much better. Okay, so we do code right here. You see HTTPS, and then you have this link right here. We're just going to hit this button right here, click it, and it's going to copy it. So now it's in your clipboard. Now we're going to go back to our terminal. Okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to type git space, a clone, space, and then just right click and paste clipboard. Hit enter. It's going to start cloning it. So what it's doing is it's going to the website and it's copying down the folder seclists. Isn't that awesome? Easy peasy, huh? So the reason that I'm downloading this seclist, and by the way, it is going to be super useful for you too, but the reason that I downloaded it earlier today is that it contains some word lists specific to community strings for brute forcing or performing dictionary attacks on SNMP, which is Simple Network Management Protocol, which basically just manages routers and switches and things like that. So via the network, via the IP. So yeah, this Git repository has a really good word list that you can use to brute force it. So I downloaded it earlier today. So it'll probably become useful to you too. You can also navigate through this guy's Git. He has a lot of really good stuff. He's a really cool security researcher. Okay, so the files have updated. It's downloaded 100%. So what we can do is we'll do ls, right? And then we'll look for it. So this one is called seclists, but it capitalizes each word. Here it is. Do you see it right there? Okay, so there it is. So now it's downloaded. Okay. So downloaded it. Notice that it downloaded it in whatever directory and folder you are. So you probably want to navigate here if that's what you want to do. So for example, if you start at root, right? So to navigate to root, I would do a command, right? I call it command, but it's not command. It stands for change directory. So I apologize that I'm calling it command. But CD stands for change directory. You can confirm that by doing man cd. There's no man for it. Okay, maybe that double tack help. cd-h. Okay, it's something you'll have to Google. Today, this computer does not want to deal with me. It does not want to help. It does not want to cooperate. So if I just do the / its root, so we're going to navigate to root, and notice that this changes right here. So now I'm going to do an ls, and it has all of the parent directories right under root. Root is the head, and then you have all of the parent directories. Then I want to go to user, so I would do cd or change directory to /, which is root, then user, enter. Now I changed to user. So now let's ls. Excuse me. So here in ls, we have share. So we'll do again, change directory to share. ls. And now we are located in share. So we learned earlier that if you want to print the working directory, all you got to do is type in pwd, user, share. Okay, and we're interested in seclists. So let's do a change command, seclists. Then let's do an ls, and there you go. So you have different directories. Remember, the blue ones are directories. The white ones are files. So let's say that you wanted to move this, right, somewhere else. Let's say that I want to move it to my desktop, which you don't want to do, but I'm just going to do it. Let's say that you were on your desktop and then you wanted to move it to user share because that's a better place, right? Just to be organized from the beginning. We want to have everything together. And usually in user share, you have your word lists, password files, things like that you utilize. We'll use the command move, mv. So we'll do move seclists. Well, we're actually in it, so we have to go back one, which is change directory space dot period enter. So now we're in user share. So now here we're going to do move the folder that we want to move, and then we're going to move seclists to the desktop. But we need to know how to navigate to the desktop. So let's do change directory root. And then let's do ls. Okay, so let's do change directory to home. Let's do ls. Kali, okay, change directory Kali, ls. And there you go, you have desktop there, right? So you can do change directory desktop, and then you can do print working directory. And there you go. So now you can just copy this, and then we're going to go to the folder that contains the seclists folder, which is command /user /share. Now we're going to do move the name of the file, or directory, I'm sorry, the name of the directory, space, and then where we want to move it to. So we're just going to right click, paste clipboard, and we want to paste it in home Kali desktop. So let's hit enter. Okay, fantastic. So let's just make sure that the operation took place by first, let's list out all of the contents of this share folder, which we're in currently, where the seclists was, and then we'll navigate to the desktop and then see that it was actually moved. So we'll do ls l pipe grep seclists, but remember this seclist has capital S and capital L, seclists. Oh, so you see, it got nothing. So for example, if we were to change this to my previous seclists, it would give us a response. So now let's go to desktop. So we know that, let's see, I think we pasted it, right? Yep, there we go. So we can go here to the beginning of the command. So we'll do change directory, and then the /home /Kali /desktop. So for me, it's /home and then /Kali because that's the name of my user. So if your user is Joe, then for you it would be /home /Joe or whatever it is. So I'm going to hit enter, and now I'm there, right, as it states here. So let me clear this. So now let's do an ls. And then let's look for the folder, and there it is. So we can just do a normal ls, and there it is. Seclists. Ta-da! We did it. Okay, in this next example, we're going to deal with zip files. So there are a lot of extensions when it comes to zip files, but we're going to deal with the gz extension, or the gzip. So we need a file first, right, to work with. So a file that is very popular that you already know about or will know about is called rocku, which is a database of, I guess it's a very long and popular word list used whenever doing brute forcing or dictionary attacks, I may say. So first we need to find it, right? So to find it, we can do locate, and then type in rocku, locate space rocku, and then just hit enter. And then it's going to look through for a file called rocku, and here it is right here at the end. So, okay, we need to know where it's located so that we can call on that file. If not, then we can unzip it. So let's copy this, right? So notice that we are actually in home Kali desktop. So we could navigate to the user share word lists and then play with the file, or we could just do it from here by including the entire breadcrumb. So let's do it from here. So if we want to, notice that the extension for it, right, is gz. So for this, we're going to want to use gzip. Notice how it turns green, which means it's available. The manual, you can just do man gzip, compress or expand files. Okay, so you can read it on your own time. So we're going to do gzip, and I think tac is D. Let me look at my cheat sheet. Yeah, it's tac D, and then you're going to do, we're going to paste the directory, the hierarchy, where the Rocky file is, which is the user share wordlist rocky.txt.gz. Okay, and the reason we're doing this is because I know that for certain tools, you have to actually extract the list. You have to extract the txt out of the zip file to be used in a brute force way. This one, some of them do allow you to use the gz extension. It doesn't matter. But I know that some of them don't. I don't remember exactly which one. Maybe Hydra or one of the other ones, or maybe it's John. But anyways, that's for another day. So we're gonna unzip this, and we're gonna hit enter. Okay, so it completed, no errors. So what can we do? We can again do locate rocku. All right. Okay, so it doesn't seem like anything happened, but what we're going to do is we're going to copy the directory it's in. We're going to paste it, and we're going to navigate there. Okay, so we're going to type in cd, and then we're going to paste the directory it's located in. Now let's do an ls. Oh, and there you are. So rocku.txt. Perfect. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to check our Python. We're going to check our Python, the path where the command is located, and the version of the Python that we have. So let's start with the path. So to know the path of the command that you're looking for, we're going to do which, and then we're going to type in Python. And as we can see here, Python is located in user bin/Python. We can also do which Python3 to see if we have it, and you'll notice that we also have which Python 3. Any version below Python 3 would just say Python. So to see the version of a specific Python, we can type in Python 3 space -- version, hit enter, and there you go. It says Python 3.10.4. That's the version that I currently have in my Kali. So you can do it in yours and see what you have. So let's say you have a file that you want to make an executable, right? Let's say you have a bash script that you want to make into an executable so you can execute it from your terminal. So first let's create the file. So let's do ls, right? That's what we have now. We're going to open up our Vim terminal, Vim, and then we're going to call this hello.sh. Okay, so remember that to begin to write into Vim, you have to press I to change the mode into insert. So now that we're in insert mode, we can do the hashtag, and then we can just call it hello world bash script. Enter, enter. Okay, so, and then after our comment at the top to title this or to explain what it is, we're going to type echo. This is going to be our command basically. Hello world. Enter, enter. Okay. After you've done that, let's type escape, WQ to save and exit. Now let's type ls. Okay, so as you can see here, hello sh exists now. And please notice that it's white. Okay, this is important because right now it's just reading it as a text file. To confirm that, we can also do the ls space tac l. So we can see more details on this. So notice it's owned by root because we created it as root. And then the permissions are read and write for root, and then for everything else, it's just everybody else it's read, and there's no executable. Notice that there's no X right? X is to execute. So why would we want to learn how to do this? In case we download something or we upload something to a remote machine, or we just create a script like we are doing right now and we want to execute it from the terminal. For example, if I want to execute it, right, I would do this. // type in your file name and then hit enter. You see? So I can't execute it, but I have a command there that is really important. I must print hello world on my terminal. But it could be something else, right? So we can't execute it right now because it doesn't have that permission. You see how it says permission denied, and just now we saw that the X was not there. So let's add that. So to do that, we'll do change mod plus X hello.sh, or your file. So it's the change mod command space plus X, which means, hey, basically change the permissions to this file, and the change that I want you to do is add X to hello.sh. So we can see what we can do. The manual, then chmod change file mod bits. Okay, that's what it's for. So again, we're going to type it in, change mod plus X hello sh, enter. Okay, no errors. So let's type in ls. Notice that it's green now. That means it's an executable. So let's do ls dash space dash l. Again, it's green. And look at that. Now it's an executable. It can be executed. So let's clear our screen. And let's try it again. We'll do period / hello sh. And there you go. It executes the command hello world, which is the echo command inside of our file. If you want to find out where your word lists are, or all of the different types of word lists that you already have in Kali, because it comes with a ton of them, and you kind of want to go through them, then what you can do is type locate space word list. And that's going to give you a list with all of the paths of all of the different word lists that you already have in your computer. So for example, if we look at the first few, you'll notice that in the folder etc, you have the harvester, you have word lists in there. Within there, you have DNS word lists, dorks, general, small names, common, etc. You have some for Python 3. You have some for MS. You have a lot for derb. Okay, this is a tool that I've used. It's for web pen testing. You have some for Dirbuster as well, and it tells you the name of the lists and where they're located. So if you're ever in a pickle, or you're curious, or you are doing some sort of dictionary attack, and the list that you're currently using is not working, and you want to try other lists, this is something that you can do. And as you can see, there's a ton of them. So definitely spend a little bit of time and go through them. But yeah, this might come in handy, I hope. Now, let's say that you're connected to a different machine, right? You are remotely connected to that machine. So I'm just going to do something like netcat, and I'm going to put the IP address of this other machine that I have up right now, the Metasploitable 2, which is right here. Okay. And I'm just going to do that for port 22. It gives me a nice banner, but let's say I'm done and I want to get out of here. So, and this doesn't only apply to netcat, but it applies also to other situations, again, where you are connected to some sort of service to a shell in a different machine, right? What you can do here to just exit out is Control-C, okay? So let's do it again. So what you can do is just Control-C, and it'll exit you out. Clear to clear the screen. There we go. Now, by the way, if you want to exit root, all you have to type while being root is exit. And there you go. And now you're back to your normal user. Now, if you just want to run a tool out of the terminal, all you have to do is write the name of the tool, like for example, John, and yeah, you can just write it, right? I can write Hydra, right? Again, John, tac H. If you want Metasploit, for example, you can do MSF console, and that'll start up Metasploit. It takes a bit to start up, so just give it a second. All right, there we go. The monster is awakening. MSF console, and now you are in Metasploit right there. So for example, you could do search Windows, and then it'll give you all of this neat stuff. Okay, if you want to exit Metasploit, just hit exit, and you're back. All right, so enough with the terminal. How do we navigate the graphical user interface, right? So if you're used to Windows like me, it's a little different, but not too bad, right? You have your power button up here to the top right. You can choose log out, restart, shut down, hibernate, etc. You can click out of it. Well, I guess you got to click cancel to get out of it. Here's your battery. Here's your volume. In the top left, you'll see this little dragon icon. This is basically like your Windows icon. So if you click on that, you'll get a menu. In this menu, you will have these already preset for you. I guess this is your favorites right now, right? I guess let's look at them really quick. File Manager, if you want to open up your file browser, and then you can navigate through just with clicks and with the mouse. So for example, you could do Kali. Let's do file system, and then, okay, you're basically, at root, and then you can go to home, Kali, or you could do user, share. Let's say we want to do word lists, right? So the same things that we were doing through the command line, you can do through the file browser. So I'm going to exit out of this. Go back to Kali. So you can open up the web browser from here. You can also open up the web browser from here. I got Firefox. This is just a text editor. Done save. I've never used this, to be quite honest with you. Restore the minimize windows. Okay. So back here. So if we keep going straight here, settings, in case you ever need to use it, this is where you can find it. And then numbered, they have, I guess, all of these different categories. And this is where you're going to find your tools. So for example, if you were looking for Wireshark, which is a network sniffing tool, you're going to go down through each one until you find sniffing. And then you're going to move to the right, and you're going to see Wireshark. And if that's what you want, you just click on it, and then you'll start the application. Let's go back to sniffing. So here, as you can see, you have other applications as well. Password attacks. You have Medusa, John, Hashcat, all of these pretty popular. Notice that Hydra is not here. And because you don't see it here does not mean it's not accessible. So for example, you don't see Hydra here, which is a really popular one. However, if I go to my terminal, I can do Hydra tac H, and there you go, right? Hydra is very much available to us here. So just because you don't see it in the GUI in this list, this is by no means, a complete list. So if you go to web application analysis, that's where you'll find your burp suite, your WP scan, SQL map. wireless attacks, exploitation tools. You can start Metasploit from here as well. I guess I would have to sudo in. It's asking me for my sudo password. I'm not going to do that now. Here's some links. Which, by the way, here in these links, right, I think it's also in favorites. You can go to the official website for Kali Linux. Is it that? Or maybe like Kali Docs. I think this is the one that I want to show you. Yeah, so it's pretty cool, right? They have all of these different categories. So if you go to tools, you can go to Kali tools and then find information on stuff. You can find information on the Metasploit framework, removed tools from Kali. Let's go back to Kali Linux, Kali tools documentation. Let's type Hydra. And there you go. So it gives you some usage examples. It gives you a description, some dependencies. Yeah, so this is pretty cool. I think you can also download it from here. But anyways. So let's keep looking through here. So yeah, you got reporting tools like Maltego and such, social engineering tools. So yeah, you can find a lot of the tools through here, or again, you can just start them from the terminal. So let's just do an example, right? So let's use an easy one, right? We could click Wireshark and then get it started. Or we could just type in Wireshark here in our terminal and start it again. So yeah, that's Kali for you. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this is going to be helpful for you in on your journey to becoming a pen tester or just becoming a better security professional. So yeah, show me some love in the comments if you liked this or if there's something that you would like to see. I love to hear your feedback and your thoughts. All right, till next time.